I love all videos from CGP Grey that I've seen so far. And this one is the hidden pattern in postcodes. And I really, really want to watch it with you. So we're gonna watch it because it's also a short video and we're gonna watch it.
To get where it's going requires the address, obviously, but also a mysterious string of characters called a postcode. But if there's an address already, what's the point of the postcode exactly? Isn't this just like the address again? Kind of yes, but also no, because there's two answers to why this if also that. For the first, while every country has their own postcode particulars, to start simple, we're going to start with the states, who sticks with
Yeah, I think German postcodes are kind of confusing. A little bit, because they're not like what I would have expected, that they're like kind of unique to each Bundesland, but they're not, and it's German postcodes confuse me most of the time.
Just simple digits, but does it a bit different by being the only one on Earth to call their code a zip code, along with the Philippines. But anyway, the usual way to describe how this
I mean, in German it's called Postleitzahl, so
5-digit code.
Yeah, it's more like postcode, yeah.
Works is by starting with the first digit to divide America into 10 zones, beginning with New England as 0 and, New Jersey 2?
Really? We have the same thing. That's also actually what we do in Germany. We have different zones, but they're not like they're several Bundesländer are in like oh gosh, wait, I want to show you. Let me show you a picture. So the weird thing, at least I think it is kind of weird. We have like stuff like this is like the 7. Like Baden-Württemberg has like the 7, but also kind of has the 8, and then some parts of it have 6, and some parts like do you see this? Not every I would have expected each Bundesland to have like a unanimous number, and then like the same for Thuringia and Saxony-Anhalt. I think Saxony-Anhalt and Saxon is just 0, but Saxony-Anhalt is like 0 and 3, and then you have Thuringia, which is 3, 9, and 0, and I think it's so confusing. Like, why just put all of Saxony and I don't know Saxony-Anhalt and Thuringia in 0, for example? Why do we do this? It's so weird. That's what I think is weird about German zip codes. Hi, Gatto. It's so good to see you. Saxon Stopper. I don't know. In Stralsund we have 3. Wait, what? Why do you have 3 in Stralsund? Berlin is a terrible city for address. There are the same street names in every occupational zone that exists. Yeah, that's what zip codes are. I think that's what zip codes are basically for. If you have, for example, a very, very common name for German streets is Bahnhofstraße. Like, do you know how many Bahnhofstraßen there are in Germany? It's so wild. Or Hauptstraßen or Schulstraßen, stuff like that. Bahnhofstraße, Hauptstraße, and Schulstraße are like 3 of the probably main like streets. Schulstraße is like school street. Main street is probably similar in America. Like there's probably a lot of main streets there. Dorfstraße, yeah. You need better street names. Yeah, but you probably also have a main street in every freaking city, don't you, Decaf? Don't you? Don't you have a main street in almost every freaking city? As well, because that's what Hauptstraße is in Germany. Yeah, see?
Really, America? There's a non-contiguous exception before we've even counted to 1, so New England-ish, I guess? Oh, but also Puerto Rico? And the Virgin Islands, only 7% of the Earth's circumference away? Well, that's quite the group to group together. We'll call it Greater Atlantia, I guess. Moving on to number 1, this contains the Keystone Empire, plus Delaware. 2 spans the north-south, 3 covers the deep south, 4 stretches the old northwest, 5 reaches the highland, 6 centers the heartland, 7
But they are also so weirdly shaped.
connects the crossroads.
But do they all include like one state at least? Is it at least one state has one number? Or is it as weird as it is in Germany where a state can have several numbers? Like, Runya, what the hell is going on with you? You can't decide, can you now? Freaking hell.
Roads 8
I'm pretty sure it looks like in Germany. That is along state border boundaries. Yeah, because for me it also looks like it's around state boundaries.
rises the mountain west, and 9 claims everything else. The West Coast, of course, and Alaska and Hawaii as usual, but also don't forget American Samoa, Guam, and the CMNI, which make Greater Pacifica to mirror Atlantia. So these are the 10 regions told by the first digit of the zip code.
Everything
Digit 2
else,
divides
yes.
again, as in the Highlands 5. 5-9 for Montana, 5-8 for Dakota, and 7 for South. Though with Minnesota, miss much more populous, digit 2 splits the state in twain. In Iowa, even more, 5-0, 5-1, 5-2. Now, you can make a map of America's zip digits 1 and 2 that looks like this, but it's not quite right, for the actual area the codes cover looks more like this, with lots of holes. And yes, that's a lot of overlap with the federal land map for the same reason. No one lives here. Forest deserts, no deliveries, no codes needed. Yes, you've got there. This means
And what happens if someone moves out into, I don't know, the desert and thinks like, oh yeah, I want my neighbors to be tumbleweeds. That would be so cool. I love tumbleweeds. They're quite a conversation starter, I guess. It's cheese. The cheese text.
zip codes are doing something very different from, say, GPS codes, which can point to any place on Earth exactly, which is the clue that there's something strange about this map and the real way zip codes work. But let's play pretend again and color the map back in. Still
Okay. It's government it's You've got that much government property. How much government property do we have in Germany? Do we have government property? If so, how much? I've never thought about government property. It makes sense, but I've never thought about it. You can't move there. That's also smart. Like, not smart, but it makes sense. I don't think people like that will get much letters, but maybe they want their Amazon delivery blockshot.
closer inspection shows with the double digits, the map is
Oh, every national park is federal land. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, Noah. Yes, that's yeah, like, okay. And then, yeah, okay. That is smart, and that also explains why it's mainly like right here. That explains a lot. In addition to other places, yeah, but it explains a lot if because I think national parks are pretty much gathered around here, isn't it? Aren't they? I mean, there are national parks elsewhere, obviously, but at least what I remember from geography, funnily enough, when we talked about America, the U.S., the only thing I remember from my geography lessons from America is that you have this freaking big mountain range right here, and the water starts to rise up here, and then it builds clouds, and the clouds go blah 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 blah. Oh, there's a freaking mountain range. Let's rain down here, pug, and that's why it's dry here. That's basically most of what I remember from my lessons in geography. Yeah, the Great Rocky Mountains. They're just like, yeah, we're just gonna rain over the mountain. Makes sense because mountains and stuff. And the föhn. We talked about the föhn. Did you also talk about the föhn in America? What is the föhn called in America? In German, it's called the föhn. So the blow dryer. Yeah. But that's something in the Alps, isn't it? Does the föhn also exist in America? In the US? Isn't the föhn something in the Alps? I think I might be confusing it with the Alps. We actually have federal forests. Ah, that makes sense. The what? Okay, I think then that's an Alp thing. Please spell what you're saying. I think it's an Alp thing then. Then I confused it with the Alps. The föhn or föhnwind is, it's... Yeah, it's the Alps. Sorry. It's the Alps. Aurora. It's the Alps wind. Alp wind. Alp. Föhn wind. Rain shadow effect. No, I think for you it's the rain shadow effect, I guess. Oh, no, it's the rain shadow. Sorry. I just Googled, I just looked at Wikipedia. It's the same in English, but it's also called the rain shadow wind that results from the subsequent adiabatic warming of air that has dropped most of its moisture on windward slopes. Yeah, it's also called rain shadow effect. Yeah. Yeah. And I think, at least in my brain, it made sense that a similar effect takes place in the US. I'm not sure if it does. I'm not sure if it actually does, but that's what my brain just automatically went to when we learned about this. So yeah, sorry for it's way more complicated than that. Okay.
That there's something strange about this map and the real way zip codes work. But let's play pretend again and color the map back in.
Oh yeah, you have the tornado alley. We talked about that, I think.
Closer inspection shows with the double digits, the map is all melty and pointy with cross-border exemptions
They have cross-border exemptions, but it's not as bad as in Germany.
everywhere.
But it is bad, kinda. Why are they so teeny tiny minuscule?
What's happening here? Well, Digit 3 reveals an even stranger map with wild blobs of land that don't make any sense at all because we've been trying to do this all wrong. These 3 digits don't mark out land, these digits mark out infrastructure. The zip code first 3 digits point to a specific big building, a sectional facility center, a belted behemoth bundling up all the mail it ingests. For who? Not you, but to ship to all the post offices within its area of influence. So that's why this map is all...
I never thought about how a post office works. I never thought about this. Never. But it's very logical, but I never thought about it that way.
melty because the map isn't really real. Rather, there are sorting centers scattered strategically, each numbered, and each sorts the mail for the post offices it can reach efficiently. So if you live on the edge of your state, but near another state's sorting center, your zip code follows the sorting code, not the state line. So much simplified, here's...
I got you, bro. My brain hurts, but it's logical, isn't it? It just makes sense. I think it makes sense, at least for me, because I never took into account the sorting centers. But yeah, that's logical. It's
Here's
smart.
what happens when you mail a letter. Digit the first sends it to a zone sorting center, which when it arrives is then sorted by digits the second and third to be sent to the sectional sorter, which when it arrives there is then again sorted by digits the fourth and the fifth to the local post office. And this is where America...
It still somewhat feels weird, but it's logical. And it's the same in Germany. Yeah, probably. Or not just probably, 100%.
Americans are vaguely aware they're supposed to include 4 more digits at the end of a zip code, but no one does because America tried to bolt on the +4 code long after her citizens had already learned that the first 5 alone would get the job done and so didn't bother. With only the most postal perfectionists +4ing their packages, but as a reward they do get sorted and sent faster because the final code is for the final sort at the
For all Americans in chat, if you want your stuff to get sorted faster, apparently, I don't know where you get those 4 numbers, but get those 4 numbers from somewhere.
Final post office onto final truck for the final delivery. And so the greater geographical oddities of the zip code are less odd because the zones aren't zones, they're the first step in sorting. A giant fork in the road, Greater Atlantia this way, everything else that way. Then down the road, islands to the left, New England to the right. So the first answer to why this, if also this, is because the address is where to go, but the postcode is how to get there. The journey, not the destination.
So smart.
And most countries' codes are built the same basic way.
Yeah,
Simple,
that makes so much sense.
human-readable directions left to right, more characters reveal more directions to get the letter closer to where it's going. And
I'm scared though. The video, we're not done. We're like 2/3 done with the video. There's definitely some country doing like a wild thing with their zip codes. I am 100% sure that there will be a country that's just going haywire with their zip codes.
The address only needed after it's sorted into the truck and the destination within sight. UK probably has the best version of this, adding letters to make sorting centers more memorable. Manchester gets all the M's, Oxford the O's, York, lovely London as capital gets all the compass points.
I want to live in Yo. Then you could make so many Yo jokes, your mama jokes. That's why we have multiple zip codes for some regions. So, one of those zips may be actually served by another post office in another region instead of the main office of that region. Interesting. I bet Northern Testicle has crazy zip
points. But the rest, simplified, is the same story.
Yo, your mama's so fat, she has her own zip code, exactly.
The next digit sorts to a post office and the last two a delivery route. And because the UK code uses letters and is longer than America's, UK codes can sort close enough to almost replace the address entirely. In most cases, you could get away with just the code and the house number and still expect delivery. I mean, I don't live that dangerously, but I'm also the kind of person who writes +4 on my American mail. But looking at this, it's kind of silly, right? If an old postcode can get this close on its own to replacing the address, if someone started over now, could it be done better? And that's exactly what Ireland thought. Hey guys!
Ha! I knew it. Your mama's so that the post delivery got delayed because it has to go via moon. Yeah. I read Snoo in his zip codes. Wait, what? Yeah. Hi, Atlantis.
If someone started over now, could it be done better? And that's exactly what Ireland thought. Hey guys, you know we've got GPS codes now, right? People don't want to write a long code like that. Yeah, but also the system was written for human sorters centuries ago. We've got giant sortatrons now. Who cares? We don't really need that. Wait, what are you doing? I think I'm gonna start over. How? I'm gonna go random, which she did, dividing up the country intentionally unmemorably. Cork, your codes start with T12, Limerick, V94, Waterford, X35. That's horrifying, but I guess America's
What is Ireland doing?
first digit is basically meaningless as well. But Ireland didn't stop there and went random all the way down, running like mad past every single point in the whole country where mail might be delivered to slap 4 more characters at
What are you doing? This instills anxiety.
complete random on the door. And it matters not at all, because Ireland created the codes for the giant sortatrons, who can read them and compare them to the big list of all codes in the country, where the last
I know, but this makes me anxious.
4, surprise, are a GPS code in disguise, which pinpoints the exact place the letter's supposed to land.
Oh, that is actually smart. If that's actually the GPS code, that would be smart. Please tell me it's really the actual GPS code, because otherwise it makes me so anxious.
And since the sortatrons also know where all the mail trucks go, it's easy.
Yeah, can someone actually write a code for us to handle this mess? Yeah.
Easy for the sorters to sort, while still being not too hard for the little humans to remember the little bitty codes to write on their pieces of paper to pass their notes back and forth. And the random postcode.
It's like someone watching someone cut a pizza into 7 slices. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good comparison, Decaf.
Codes has one more bonus. In other countries, when towns grow or ghost, buildings divide or combine, countries that try to keep their codes in order-ish have to move the codes around to maintain that order-ish. And the poor humans with houses that haven't changed having to remember now that their new code is just a little different. But not in Ireland, for there's no order to maintain at all. If your mailbox never moves, your code never changes. That's the method to the madness. So when Ireland asked herself, why this, if also this, she found a new answer. Make a postcode so precise it becomes the perfect address. So while everywhere else
So you don't have to write an address or what? No, just move the buildings. Exactly. I prefer cutting my pizza into 2 pie slices.
have to write both the destination
I prefer cutting my pizza into 1 slice.
and the journey. In Ireland, you can write both, probably still should write both, but you don't have to, because just the postcode alone will do.
Damn. That's cool. That is so cool. Holy shoot. I love these videos so much. I can't even describe how much I enjoy CGP Grey's videos. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe on the original video, and please leave a like, comment, subscribe on this video if you watched till now. What what did the postcode of Ireland install in you? Was it anxiousness? Was it maddening? Or was it wonder? Can write it in the comments right now. Thank you, my boy. Outro song, outro song. This is an outro song. Outro song, outro song. This is an outro song.